Hi, Tim from Fairplay now, and it's day 26 of the English national lockdown, 30th of November 2020. And yeah, a bit of a dull, grey old day out there. Luckily, I was working inside all day long, so that's a bonus. I actually doing a bit of decorating. Really, I've gone purely over to electrical work for the most part, but I used to do general property maintenance before specialising in electrics. Well, I wouldn't take on a new decorating job, but some long-standing customers, they come back to me and want me to do bits and bobs, and if it's decorating, I tend to say yes to that. So I'll be decorating for the next 3 days, although I am replacing some sockets and switches and downlights, so there is a bit of electrical work anyway. Getting home, looking at the news, good old Biden, Joe Biden's apparently broken his foot while playing with his dog. And if he really is going to become president, that's a good start, isn't it? A bit closer to home, just as we're about to come out of this lockdown, I see the Welsh bloke Drakeford is back to his tricks again. He's announced that pubs have to close at 6 p.m. and they're not allowed to serve alcohol at all, because apparently the old corona is spreading like wildfire in Wales again. And yeah, that comes hard on the heels of the UK government in Westminster warning of a third wave as well. What on earth they think they're playing at? First of all, what's this thing about alcohol? I'm sure coronavirus hasn't got anything to do with alcohol. And also, if they've got to introduce measures again in Wales, that just proves that their lockdown didn't work. So, because we know what is going to happen in Wales again, they're going to have another lockdown, aren't they? And all this sort of restricting the pubs is the first sign, and then normally 2-3 weeks, a month later, comes the next lockdown. So surely, why are these people so thick? If they've got to have a lockdown and then they ease off and then they reckon they have to do a lockdown again, and that's just proof to my mind that lockdowns don't work. But there they go again in Wales, right back on the merry-go-round. Absolutely ridiculous. So this latest news from Wales kind of just proves that if we let these idiots carry on, they're just going to keep us in this cycle for absolute ever. It's time to sort of get people like Drakeford and Johnson and Sturgeon and all the rest of them and just kick them into touch. And we really need to just show them who's boss, and that we're not going to sort of take all this nonsense of theirs anymore. Because at the end of the day, all of this has to be paid for, of course. And I'm looking at this very interesting website. It's actually called nationaldebtclock.co.uk. So National Debt Clock, all one word, .co.uk. And it just shows you what the British national debt is. And to give you an idea, apparently at the end of the financial year, or start of this financial year, back in April, it was about 1.8 trillion, and it's now up to 2.4 trillion pounds. And so it's gone up over half a trillion just in a few months, which is absolutely frightening. Because that's got to be paid for somehow. It's got to be paid back. And that actually equates to debt per citizen of the UK is £39,141, which is bad news, isn't it? Because if, say, you were, £1,000 in debt at the moment, you're not. You're actually 40 grand in debt, with your sort of 39,000 as well on the national debt. So, and what most people don't realise is just what a vast number £1 trillion is. And just to put it into perspective a little bit, I was doing some kind of calculations because I'm a bit sad like that. And basically, let's look at it this way. If you had £1 million to spend every single day, and that'd be quite a happy position to be in, wouldn't it? But if you, let's say you had £1 million to spend every single day. Well, if you had £1 million, that'd be one day spending £1 million per day, and then that'd be gone. If you had £1 billion and you're spending £1 million of that every day, that billion would last you for about 2 3/4 years, somewhere around that. But if you had £1 trillion and you were spending £1 million every single day, that £1 trillion would last you for about 2,700 years. I think that's what it works out at, and it's well over 2,000 years anyway. So, and to put that into perspective, 2,700 years ago was kind of pretty much right at the start of, well, say the Roman Empire. It wasn't even an empire then, but when Rome was first founded, it was about sort of 800 BC. So, we'd been talking in 2,700 years ago, way back in their very earliest days, well before their sort of empire rose, let alone fell again. So if you could imagine going right the way back to those very early days of Rome, and you're starting to spend £1 million every single day, you'd only be starting to run out of money now. And it's incredible, and that hopefully gives you some idea of just how much £1 trillion is. And as I say, it's coming up to, well, on this countdown timer, we're not far off 2.5 trillion, and it's got to be paid back somewhere, somehow. And I can see, because a lot of this money that we owe is actually to China, so I can see them saying at some point in the future, we'll let you off some or all of the debt as long as we can annex you, and Britain can become, I don't know, the 13th province of China. And I don't know how many provinces they've got, but if it's 12, and they can annex us and let us off our debt, because that's probably going to be the only way we're ever going to get out of this debt. And who knows if that's what their ultimate plan is. But anyway, on that sort of rather kind of dire thought, I'll finish the video for today. So it's English National Lockdown Day 26. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.